started the day in Plugine on the banks of Lake Piva. I was using Google Maps to navigate on the main roads, and the plan was to use Gaia GPS once I got onto the tracks. There's barely a direct route anywhere in Montenegro, and after nearly an hour's driving, I was back at the reservoir, albeit further up. After crossing the lake, it was a long climb on minor roads to get to the start of the trail. Eventually, I reached the start of the trail and switched to Gaia GPS. Which unfortunately took me into a sheep field and a dead end. After turning round, I bumped into the farmer on the way out, and he gave me better directions. Once I was sure I was on the right trail, I aired down the tyres to about 20 psi. The trail wasn't technically challenging, but airing down the tyres was well worth it. It was so much more comfortable. Once I was actually on the right trail, Gaia GPS was really useful. I've made a GPX recording of this trail, which you can download on the Overland on Substack. The trail just climbed up and up and up. There was the odd short descent, but the direction was mostly upwards. Trees began to give way to scrub and exposed limestone. high plateau came into view. There are wild horses in the Montenegran highlands. That wasn't the only one I saw that day. This lone biker was the only other person I saw on the whole trail. The trail split the vast expanse of parched grass as I headed for the gap between the two mountains, Lojanic and Bielkom. As I reached the mountains, I passed a small, tumble-down farmstead. These are occupied during the summer, but the shepherds move the sheep back down to the valleys during the winter. Don't forget that if you want to do this trail yourself, you can download the GPX file at theoverlander.substack.com.